hold that. I mean,
We're live
he
now.
watched him go in it,
Right.
and we're gonna set up a game cam down there to find out his feeding pattern. And one night I'm gonna come down here with a lawn chair and a shotgun and wait for him to come out.
Shoot him.
I don't mind. I know there's rattlesnakes up here. I don't really mind it, and he don't mind it because he takes care of the field mice. But he doesn't want them at his fishing spot.
Right, exactly.
And Randy brings his kids up here and stuff, and I don't want one of the kids getting bit. So
Right.
I'm going to sit up here and catch me a rattler.
Yeah.
Very well, not catch. I'm going to shoot some. Yeah. His head's going to go into pieces.
I don't know where Larry is. He's running late.
So I had somebody message me today about wanting to clutch an 800 aggressive for the Canadians skeg trails.
What's up, Brian?
I don't know.
What's up, Backwoods? Go ahead.
Do what?
I was talking to these guys in the chat.
Well, I told him to join the chat. His name's Christian. Said he's got a buddy that has an 800 trail and wants it aggressive for the Canadian trails, which probably
What's up, Brett?
skeg and stuff like that.
Right.
So I was going to set him up with the setup that I've got. And if that's not aggressive enough for him, I'll have him add the Articat spring.
How aggressive does he want it?
Aggressive. He's wanting to bury the sumbitch.
He might want one of them helixes.
For what he's going to be in, your helix isn't going to have enough backshift.
No, but the 40 here will.
Yeah, like I said, if what I'm setting him up with isn't going to be enough, then I'd recommend dropping a 40 helix in it.
Well, I don't know because that I have a 40 in my 800, which I've been running that for months now.
Yeah.
The Stingray mods helix it feels now, mind you, I'm running my 800 with the 40 and I'm running the Stingray in my 600. It feels like it has faster backshift.
Well, it's also a lighter machine, so it may just be the feel of it downshifting and not actual backshift.
Well, that could be too because the trail block is different than the wet clutch stuff.
Right.
And I don't run heavy weights and thick springs like other competitors do. I run light springs with light weights, so it backshifts quicker. Also,
well, the only reason I said he might, the only reason I say he might want to run a 40 rather than the 45 is, matching my setup. I got mine set up to where I can still do some speed, but he said he still wanted to do some speed. But if it's not quite enough in the mud, the only other option he's got is to add a 40 to it.
Right. What's up, Willard?
Or go ahead and, not to bash the competitor any, or try to, sell out you. That progressive would be the only other option because it's going to backshift faster than a staged.
Right.
I would like to try it. I'm just not going to spend the money.
Right.
I've spent enough money on my clutch and I've had it apart way too many times.
I'm done. I don't care what. I'm all for making trying to come out with better clutching stuff, and hopefully other companies will and whatever. Hopefully Stingray will, whatever. But I'm done with my 800. Like, it's done. I'm riding it. I'm enjoying it. I'm done. It's set up perfect the way that I could make it better. Sure. I could put that Stingray in there and it'd be 10 times better, but I'm done. I'm just going to ride it and enjoy it. Plus I ride it on the street. So I can't have it too aggressive because I still need to be able to enjoy it on the street without blowing it up. So,
right.
There's that, but I got it dialed in pretty good.
And I'm done. I'm done throwing shade at people. I'm done being, stupid. I had my fun. And still ain't nobody beat me yet. But
no, the fun ain't over until there's some drag races happening.
Well, I mean, when it all comes down to it, if I were to take the setup that's in mine right now, I would like to see what it does with the long range progressive helix that MSC has. But I'm not spending that kind of money on it. There ain't no way. Not when I can have it cut for $50 cheaper. Just the way it is. I mean,
what machine, Brian? What machine you running? 1016. What is that? A 200, 1200 or no? Yeah,
he's probably running a 950 or a 1000.
Yeah, he's got to be in a 1000 or 950. I mean, if you run a helix, you're gonna have well, that spring should be okay.
Yeah, that spring should be fine. If he runs a helix, he might just have to add a little bit of weight to it.
Add a little bit of weight, probably. I don't know. I have a couple of guys running the Stingray helix right now as we speak. With the 18 grams 1016, they're not complaining about it at all. But also, you cannot clock your secondary with that. Otherwise, you're definitely going to lose a lot of top end.
It also depends on what you're riding for, too.
Well, right. But I know the way that Stingray made that helix, he designed it so you don't have to clock your secondary.
Okay, so I'm just now reading the comment. If you're running 18 gram weights and a 1016 spring, here, I'm going to clear something up. That way everybody knows. You want your RPMs to be, when you're going 10, 20 miles an hour and you put it to the floor, you want your RPMs to be at your peak horsepower.
Yeah. Which on the U-Force, or the 1000 motor, that's 7,000. Let me look it up. Hold on.
So whether you do it with the helix or you do it with the primary spring and weights, that's where you want your RPM to be when you're cruising and floor it. So you just need to find the middle point that makes your primary and your secondary work together with no gaps to get it set at that RPM through the shift.
Right. I'm looking it up right now on the 1000 because I can't remember everything. I got so much up here in my brain, I can't remember everything. So I got to look some things up just to remind myself. But
what, on the 1000?
Yeah, I think it's 7,000.
Yeah, it should be, because ours is 67, and they're just 300 above ours.
Yeah, the page won't load, but I think it's 7,000. The 800s, I like them. Well, the 800, the 500, and the 600, I really feel like they're good about 68. Wife's is running about 66, but mind you, we also have it tuned for the road and trails. So the road and light trails, but dude, she sends it like everywhere with no issues, and it's lower on the RPM side.
I got mine at about 64. That way, when I'm in the trails, I'm right around 6, so I'm at my peak torque.
Brandon, the only one that I'm recommending for CF Moto tunes, which he only has the 800s, is Ray Parker. He's the only one that I have a tune and have ran the tune and trust. I have ran a few other tunes from a few different companies with my AFR gauge, and they are way off. So Ray Parker's is a big thumbs up from me. What?
Red?
What?
If he wants to spend the money and get an AFR gauge and buy a monster tune, we'd be happy to know what it's actually running.
Yeah, if he's willing to get a gauge, and yeah, but if they're watching this, they ain't giving him nothing.
Well, I'll tell you what. I mean, I talked to Levi. Levi's a good guy.
I got nothing against Levi. He just ain't gonna sling them tunes in my group.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. Here, why you started that conversation? The comment is not a dealer battle for money. Sorry, it's not.
The what?
If you're not here to help people and you're just here to get money from them, stay the fuck out of the comments.
Exactly. That's my biggest thing with these groups. I'm tired of somebody posting. We'll just say just randomly. This isn't real, but this has happened. So we'll just say randomly somebody's in the groups and they say, "Hey guys, where can I get a windshield from? I got a U-Force 1000. I'm looking for a good windshield, something that won't break the bank." Okay. You get 5 or 6 group members that say, "Hey, I got this windshield. It was such and such dollars. I really recommend it." Okay. Those comments are way okay with me. I love them. I think that those are the best. But then on top of that, you get 50 dealers in there. Hey, we sell those. We sell those. We sell those. We sell. Listen. Here's the deal. It wouldn't be a big problem if one dealer commented on the post, say, we'll just say John Hester. I love John Hester. He's an awesome dude. Current RV, they're awesome. You know, there's awesome dealers, but we're just gonna throw one out there. If one would say, we'll just say John Hester commented, "Hey, I sell those windshields. Get a hold of me." Well, then I feel like other dealers shouldn't be stepping on his toes because he was there first. He should be the one to hopefully get that sale if the person decides to buy, or the person will decide on their own where they want to buy it from. I don't want 50 different dealers trampling on each other like they're a bunch of carp in a pond trying to get some flakes of food. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not having it. All my groups is getting cleaned up as of next month. I have things in place. There will be absolutely 0 dealers in there unless they're going to abide by my terms and agreements of service, because I'm tired of it. And not to mention, you know, they're my groups, but I have admins that help out. We got Ron, we got Larry, we got TJ. We got many admins that work hard in there to keep the groups clean and neat and organized and user-friendly and people-friendly. And all these dealers are just ruining it. And I'm not saying this in a bad thing to dealers. I'm not saying this to make any dealers upset or mad. They got to eat. They got money to make. I get it. But they're not the ones that worked hard to grow these groups. And my YouTube channel, my YouTube channel is designed to help people. Sure, I got to make some money. I got bills to pay. We all do. But my number one priority is helping people. How many people I don't know where Ron went, but you guys don't know how many people we've helped and didn't make $1. These dealers are in our groups. They're not helping nobody. Okay, Ron went away, but I was saying, Ron, how many people have me and you and Larry and others helped and didn't make a single dollar?
I've probably spent.
Good morning, Scooter.
I've probably spent about $2,000 in clutch parts and machine work, and not including my time, just to help build a clutch kit that I like and would recommend for 3 different versions of riding, just on an 800.
I'm not even talking clutch.
And I've not made a dime.
Exactly. But I'm not even talking clutching. I'm talking in general. How many
in general?
Yeah. I mean,
dude, I've spent hours and hours and hours and hours, days, weeks.
Exactly.
Helping people.
And I'm sure you're the same way, Ron. How many times you laying in bed and you see it, you're scrolling, you see a post or something, or somebody message you saying, "Hey, my machine's doing this or that," and you stay up, lose sleep, and help them, knowing that you got to be up early in the morning. I've been up till 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, I don't know how many times, helping somebody get their machine back running, and successfully did. I just helped a guy today. I never asked for $1. But my point of this is, the dealers, you ask a deal, I've noticed this, and it seems to happen with most. I'm not saying all, but a lot of them. You ask a dealer a question in a group on a post that they commented on, and then never get back to you. They never help you. We are eliminating all of that. If you're not going to participate in the group, then you're not making money in them.
I mean, I understand dealers want you to bring your vehicle to them and have them work on it.
Right.
Which they make money. That's their service. That's fine.
Right.
But, if it comes to a point where I was a mechanic for 25 years before I got injured, if I recommended that somebody did something to their car and they wanted to go home and try to do it in their driveway, by all means, go home and do it in your driveway. There's plenty of business out there. But that doesn't mean I won't help you in the process.
Right. And I understand the dealers and the businesses, they got to make money. That's how they stay afloat. They pay their bills. I totally understand that side of it. But at the same time, say they're in Kansas and this guy is in California and has a question, that dealer's not making money on that guy no matter what. Unless
if somebody's in Kansas, they're not riding anyway because there's nothing in Kansas.
No, flat ground with cow patties. But if they help this, if the guy's got a question, hey, I don't know, let's just say one of his headlights aren't working. Hey, what kind of bulb can I get? Or what, a dealer could, if a dealer was on the post or something, they could say, hey, we recommend this or that. And the guy can go and get it, whether it's from them or Amazon. But just because that dealer took their 1 second to help them, they just gained a customer by doing that. That's my thoughts on it, because I've had Horizon Audio. I went to Horizon Audio and said, hey guys, I'm looking for this or that for my ATV, for my side-by-sides. And they're like, well, we really don't sell stuff like it. Okay, all right, well, fine, I'll get it somewhere else. That's fine. But because they were willing to help me, they took 10 minutes and helped me see if they could do something for me. Guess what? I'd go to the local Horizon Audio all the time for my stereo needs, whether they have it or not. I go there and give them the first opportunity and first chance before I go to Amazon.
And, I worked for Bridgestone for 11 years. And
see you later, Brian.
I had a lady come in that her brake lights weren't working. It was a Ford Taurus. Imagine that. But when she came in, I was busy. We were busy as hell. Middle of summer, we were rocking. But I refused to let that lady leave and drive down the road with no brake lights. Because, she could have caused an accident, been in an accident, people been hurt. I went out, spent 10 minutes underneath her dash, reattached the wire that had come loose, and dude, there was an email sent out from the CEO of Bridgestone saying that they needed more mechanics like me that would take their time out of their day to make sure people were safe rather than tell them to go down the road and come back when we have time. And I had a lifelong customer.
Exactly.
She would go nowhere but to me.
Yep. I know one time.
And yes, that is the Brett, your comment. That is customer service.
Yep.
It's not just a service department. You're not just a mechanic. That is a customer service.
Yep. Well, I'm gonna say this, and I'm not gonna drop any names, but I will say I'm not happy about it at all. I sent a friend of mine to a dealer, drove, 7 hours to this dealer. Okay. Bought 2 CF modem machines. I'm not going to say what machines because people will put 2 and 2 together and figure it out. But this is true.
I already know what you're talking about as soon as you said that.
You probably do. So he spent money on 2 brand new machines, brand spanking new. And he said he signed paperwork. They handed him his keys and they sent him on his way. he said, I asked him if I could get a shirt for him and his partner, and they threw him a stupid hat. And the hat had nothing to do with CF Moto. It had the dealer's name on it. And he was after something free for CF Moto. Listen, you just buy 2 brand new machines at a dealer, they deserve to give you something. I mean, come on, a shirt, really? What would it cost them? So then he proceeds to get the machines home. And he notices that they put the wrong, piss port. Yes, I'm not happy about it. And there's reasons why I'm not happy. He got home, got the machines home, and he noticed that they put the wrong suspension bolts on the shocks. Some were longer than others in places, and some were shorter than others, and they had them facing different directions. And that was on the one machine. On the other machine, the little rubber things that go where the seatbelt goes. You know what I'm talking about, Ron?
Yeah.
He said that they were swapped. So he had to pull the seatbelts out and swap those back so they didn't look retarded. And there was a handful of things. He called me and he goes, I'll never go back there again. And
there's kind of a reason why they swap those. Let me explain this. I know some other dealers that do it too. They swap those so that the rubber's on the inside, so if you hit your head on it, it don't hurt as bad.
No. He said they were the wrong way. They were on the outside, but they were the wrong way.
Oh, facing the wrong way. Okay, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I thought you meant they put them on the inside.
No.
Because if they just put them on the inside, there's a few dealers I know of that do that to stop you from hitting your freaking head on them.
Yeah. Well, luckily for me, my seatbelts are raised. It's Laura's that are down at the side, and I think yours is down too.
Yeah, mine are down too. It sucks.
Mine are up here.
I went to a park that I had to wear a helmet, and I think I left there with half a concussion to where at any other park that I didn't wear a helmet, I didn't hit my head near as many times.
Right.
Or at all.
Yep. But yeah, I just feel like, I don't know. It's not like he went and bought a Chinese Teo where they only made $200 or $300 on the thing. He bought 2 brand new units, and not the cheapest units either. You know exactly who I'm talking about because you probably talked to him too.
I know who you're talking about.
Yep. So you know how much money
to him, but I seen the comments and the pages, so I know who you're talking about.
Yep.
I know who you're talking about, and I know what he bought.
Yep.
And if that ain't worth a fucking t-shirt, sorry, pardon my language on that one, but I wouldn't go back there either.
Exactly. You know what? When I bought my machine, I paid $10,700 out the door for my 800EX. And the reason I paid that amount is because I originally went after the Z-Force 1000, a 2018 Z-Force 1000. It was leftover stock, but it was also a dealer demo model.
Yeah, demo.
Yep. They had it for $10,700. Well, I'm talking to the salesman. I said, I'm going to come look at it tonight after work. I went to go get it, and they sold it. It was there, but they had sold it, and I was hot. I was mad. I was big mad. He goes, we don't have any more of those, and we're not getting any more of those. But we have this red 800EX over here. I said, no, I don't want it. I wanted that 1000. And he's like, well, I can get you this one for $12,000 out the door. I said, no. I said, you get me an orange one for the same price as that 1000 and you got a deal. They haggled with me about it, but they gave it to me for the same price as that 1 year leftover 1000 demo model. And they threw in this CF Moto rug which some of you new people probably haven't seen. I've had it for years. They threw in that, and they threw in a bunch of other stuff that I could give away or whatever I needed to do with. They took care of me. They were tough about it, but they did.
I've got 2 local dealers that I use. One of them just got into CF Moto this year, and they're a good dealer. They're who I bought my Polaris's from prior to switching to CF Moto.
Yep.
Never had any issues with them. They're great people. But the one that I bought my machine from, which is Donnell's Power Sports,
right
down in down around Kansas City area.
Yep.
They are the nicest people you will ever deal with in your entire life.
Right.
They've got good prices. Anything I've ever needed, they've been all over it. If they couldn't get it, they tried their damnedest to get it.
Yep.
You know, I'll go back to them for anything. If I ever buy another machine, will I use my dealer that's a mile away from my house? Probably not. I'll probably drive 70 miles down there to them and use them because they're that good of people.
Yep. What'd Scooter say? He said, "Amen, brother. I used to work for a major mining equipment manufacturer, and factored into the pricing is training and apparel such as shirts, koozies, and we're talking multi-million-dollar machines." Right, exactly. So CF Moto really don't pay for advertising. They don't pay much for advertising. At least this is what I've been told by multiple dealers. CF Moto really don't pay for the big advertising like the other brands do. That's how they can kind of keep the cost low. But at the same time, you know darn well that it's all built into the pricing and the dealer pricing and all that to where they can't afford to give out a free whatever it may be to sweeten a deal or something.
As much markup as there is on labor and parts and the machines themselves, I'm sorry. Anybody who buys a brand new machine should walk out of there with a koozie, a hat, and a t-shirt.
Exactly.
Or some
you know what?
stickers or something. And if they don't, then you got a greedy dealer.
Well, you know what, though? I sent my aunt to the local power sports place here, and I'm not going to say their name because I don't like them, so they don't deserve the shout out. But I sent them there, and I like the service or the sales department. I do not like their service department, so that's the reason why they're not getting a shout out on my channel. But I sent my aunt there to get a U-Force 500. There's a 2019 model. She got it shortly after I got my 800. She went in there and she loaded this thing up. Loaded it up, man. She had a roof put on. She had, because it didn't come with a roof. The U-Forces didn't come with a roof back then. She had the roof put on. She had, I think she bought a plow for it. She bought a windshield for it. She bought some bumpers, I believe, for I don't know. She had a bunch of stuff that she bought, and she paid out the a-hole for it, right? At the end of the deal, she said, "You guys throw us in a couple of new helmets and give us some stuff." You know what they ended up doing? Now, this is good. They gave them brand new helmets. They weren't CF Moto helmets. You couldn't get CF Moto helmets then. Heck, you can barely get them now. But they gave them 2 nice helmets, and they threw in another accessory for free. I don't remember what it was, but they sweetened the deal and gave them another accessory for free. All because they asked for it and they wanted to send that deal through. They did it. They're making plenty of money.
To your question on windshields, earlier you made a reference to windshields in the comments, and you're talking about it now, so it reminded me. If anybody is looking for a windshield and you don't want to spend a lot of money, don't buy a windshield. The half windshields block your vision. The full windshields, it's hot as hell.
Yep.
And if you're not going to buy a quarter windshield that's flip up or a total flip up and you don't want it to be hot in there and it's not a hardened windshield, save your money.
I tell you what, I love my half windshield. I love it. But as soon as there's any kind of mud on it, I have to sit up and look over to see anything. Especially,
see, I don't have that problem with my quarter, 3/4 split.
That's because yours is like this high. Mine's this high.
Right. Right, exactly. I've had mine bowed against. I've had my upper one open, and I've had it bowed against a tree. I've had it pushed over. I've had branches just run across it. And mine's a super ATV. I know it's $379, but I tell you what, if I was to buy a cheap windshield or respend the money on that one, I'd respend the money on that one in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Or I would go with no windshield.
Exactly, Scooter. The little things like that. It amazes me of how little things like that will sweeten a deal. I mean, it's just crazy. Even for me, when I buy something from somebody, especially if I can't talk them down much, I'm asking for something, some kind of store credit or something, and they normally do it. Especially if you don't haggle with them enough to beat them up on the price, but you can't beat them up on the price and expect them to want to do something too. But hey, you like 10.7 for this 800EX. I thought that was a steal. So I didn't even ask for anything for free. But then again, it was either 10.7 or I was walking. And back then, CF Moto didn't sell very well, so they didn't want me to walk.
You know, I'm going to say another thing about the dealers too. This is what irritates me the most about CF Moto dealers. There is a CF Moto dealer, whatever, you know, as far as parts go. You can look and see if somebody local has it.
Yep.
I mean, so that person's not buying from you this time. Let's say they're at a riding part. They need a part. They're calling you to see if you have it. You can look at the network and say, you know, hey, I don't have it. This person does. Either I can get it to me and ship it to you, or you can go there and get it.
Yep.
That promotes the CF Moto brand. Just because they're not buying it from you, next time they might. Because you were good enough to tell them this is where you can get your part that you need right now.
Yep.
And if the dealers aren't part of the network, they need to become part of the network.
Yep.
Because that's why everybody else is so far advanced. They can look and tell you which dealer in the whole U.S. has a part.
I had
a lot of your CF Moto dealers can't.
Remember when I blew my diff in Tennessee or Kentucky?
Yeah.
Remember that dealer I called and he said, I'll call you right back. I'm going to look and see if anyone local has one that he could get. And he called me back and told me that he could overnight me one for $1,200 and I could pick it up. And he looked in that dealer network to find that because he didn't have it. But I would have had to pay what was like $400 to have it overnighted. And I just decided, I'll just wait to save the money. But
you know, some people have the money and some people, like when I broke my axle.
Yep.
I broke my axle 3 days into a week and a half trip, which we've pretty well figured out it was, you know, broke before then. But
I do.
It broke the rest of the way 3 days into a week and a half trip. I called probably 25 different dealers. And the closest one that was found was in Maine. I called Maine and they searched for it for 4 hours, called me back and said, that they did have it, but it was for a service vehicle. It was one that was in the service department. So they couldn't sell it. Even though they had plenty of time to order another one before, the machine was leaving the shop. And I understand that. But they were going to overnight the damn thing from Maine for a small cost.
Yeah.
Just to get me going again. And I was sent there by probably 15 out of the 25 dealers I called.
Right.
Maine. I only called them, but I knew the overnight price was going to suck.
Yeah.
But where I was, and the fact that I only got to ride for 2.5 days out of a week and a half, I probably would have paid the overnight shipping.
Yeah.
And I even talked to the park, and the park said, yeah, I can have it sent to the office, and when it gets there, they'll come and let me know.
Yep.
I mean, that's people that want you there. They want your business.
Yep. Thank you, John. I have more coming for you guys in the queue, buddy. I think tomorrow I drop another one. And then if you guys are nice to me, I'll make another one this weekend.
I tell you what, to the comment that just got posted, John, Red's wings are freaking awesome. I had 2 plates of them things, and I swear to God, when I left the camp area to go back to the toy hauler, I couldn't hardly walk because my stomach hurt.
Dude, and when he says plates, he means plates.
Yeah, I mean plate. They were
heaping.
Red makes some damn good wings.
That was the first time we ever made them on the griddle like that, too. I've never made them on a flat top.
They were good.
We had one person complain about those. Said they were nasty. Ronnie took them home to his people at his house. And the one person said they didn't like them.
Well, after they've been stored and reheated, that might have been different, but
I don't know. We ate them after a couple of days. They were, I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
Right off the grill, I'm telling you, they were killer.
They were good. I don't know about this one. Do you?
From fat guy, they were good.
That's right. He says, "Hey, redneck, who makes aftermarket bumpers for a C4 620?" You know what? I don't know. I was actually thinking about making my own. I got a stick of tubing over here, and I had thought about making my own front and rear, but I don't know.
If you get on eBay, you can find them pretty cheap, but you're gonna. Almost everybody that makes them for the CF Moto, I don't think the quality is really up to par.
Yeah, I mean, I would check with Kern also. I don't remember seeing any on their website. I do go to their website quite often to try and stay up to date with what they got. I may have missed them. I don't know.
I know that the CF Moto ones really aren't too bad, but the metal quality is just not up to par. If you're wanting them for looks and to save a headlight, go ahead and buy one. If not, have one built.
I'm thinking about making me some.
I'm thinking about another beer.
Yeah, I got beers in there. I always say I want a beer, but I never drink one. I don't know.
I drank the rest of the Sailor Jerry, so it's gone. I'm not a huge fan of Jack. There's a whole bottle of Jack in there. And I'm not a tequila fan either.
Right. Larry's going to pop in. Larry's going to pop in when we're getting ready to get off of here. And he's going to keep us on here for another 6 hours.
Larry probably ate too many gummies and passed out.
That's true.
Which I don't blame him.
No.
Don't do drugs. They're bad.
Y'all from Washington State? Hello, all. Y'all from... Well, I'm from Ohio. Canton, Ohio. Speaking of which, if y'all
I'm
got any
from right
machines that need work
dead.
on, bring them over. What's that?
I said I'm right dead center in the middle of the U.S.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Scooter says Ronnie. Ronnie beer.
I can't smoke in there, so I got to finish my cigarette before I go in and get a beer.
Yeah. I'd like to start working on CF Motos in here. I've done quite a few, actually.
Dude, I worked on anything.
Oh, I will too. A lot of people have been bringing me them Chinese four-wheelers and stuff because nobody else around here will work on them. The dealer that was selling them went out of business, and there's a ton of them out here, but nobody's working on them.
I love working on the Chinese ones. They're so easy to work on.
They are. That's what I said.
They're easy. They're cheap to work on, but then you still make the same amount of labor to work on it.
I don't lower my labor rate just because it's a cheap machine. Either you want me to fix it or you want to sell it to me so I can fix it and sell it. One of the two. Okay, thanks. I have a rear CF Moto bumper for my 2020 C4 600, but don't really like the styling on the front bumpers. Yeah, man, I'm not sure. Like I said, I got a piece of tubing over there. I've been thinking real hard on building me a custom bumper. I've been front and rear and then painting them a color. I don't know what color would go good with that, but I'd rather not black. But I don't know what else color would go good. Maybe match the wheels? I don't know. Larry's been bugging me for a live. I go live, and where's he at?
He's hiding. I told you, his back hurts.
Yeah, gummies.
My back hurts. I mowed too much today. Jesus Christ.
Hey, Kevin, I was actually trying to work with a company that was going to make the roll cages and actually made a few roll cages, but he wouldn't sweeten the deal enough for me, and he kind of disappeared from the internet. So I don't think it took off quick enough for him, and he ghosted. But I'm looking for a company that will copy my cage and make it better than my cage and make it look nicer, because you guys know I suck at welding. It looks good, but don't look at my welds. But somebody that could copy my cage and I could just ship it in like 2 or 3 pieces on a pallet or something, and you guys can have it painted or powder coated, whatever color.
Usually when they ship them, they just throw them on one pallet.
Yeah.
Send them.
And I was thinking, let everybody else do their own powder coating, take it to their people to have their own powder coating done. That way it saves money on the cage. And I was wanting to be somewhere around $2,000 on a cage.
$2,000? Hey, just ridiculous. I only paid $10,000 for my machine.
Yeah. Yeah, but $2,000 for a full cage like mine is okay. People are charging like $1,200 for just a chop.
Sure, I'll do the chop myself.
I'd love to have somebody copy my cage. All I got to do is take it off and make a jig for it, and bam, there they go.
Does anybody know if the
Absolutely
Z600 cage will fit on the Z800?
I don't know. It looks similar, don't it?
Yeah, I know the back sections won't. The bolt-on sections, the bars that run down.
Well, isn't the cab in those just a tad bit bigger?
I don't know.
It feels like it. The one that I sat in feels like it.
Dude, this one feels huge inside. And the seats are way more comfortable than mine.
Oh, I know. I
know the seats will fit in mine.
Right.
The seats fit in mine, and I'm going to swap him seats and see if he notices.
Right. Yep.
Because I would love to have those seats in my machine.
Oh, it would be nice.
So if anybody finds a spare leftover or somebody's parting out a Z600 with good seats in it, somebody message me and let me know. And I'm not going to go buy them new from the dealer.
Right.
There's some used seats.
Exactly.
But I just like this cage because it's already got the brackets and everything to bolt up the harnesses. And it just looks more sturdy than ours.
Yeah. Oh, I know it. I hate to say it. I kind of like the Z6 a lot. Now, don't get me wrong. The front end compared to ours is kind of ugly, but I feel like I like it. The styling of it is just a little better. It's got a smaller bed, of course, but I
wonder. Arms, it's got the junkier shocks.
Yeah.
If they were to have just updated the Z600 body and then threw the 800 motor in it, I think they would have sold a lot more.
Yeah, because wouldn't it look cool with our front styling on it?
Yeah, if you put our front styling on there, put the wider A arms rather and the better shocks, the Z600 would be a killer machine.
Right. What is this question? Is this CF better than Can-Am on the feel/safe mid speeds? I'm kind of lost on that.
No. Once you get up to mid speed on any machine, you're going to have body roll, you're going to have tippage, you're going to have any number of things that are going to vary.
Yeah.
And the softer the suspension is, the more likely you're to have accidents. It depends on the setup and it depends on the machine. So the answer to that question is no.
I got Elkas on mine with no sway bars, and I got them kind of set pretty soft. And don't get me wrong, I can take some pretty fast corners. But if I go too fast, I mean, I've never had it on two wheels, knock on wood, but it sure felt like it a few times.
Well,
did you ever hear putting a 1-inch block to fit the seat and then move? Oh, yeah, people have been doing that for years. I never did it. I never really felt the need to. Maybe I should. Maybe I should do a video on that because
then you don't have to look over your quarter windshield.
That's true. That's true. I don't know. I've always liked to keep my center of gravity low.
And I've got short legs, so I didn't need to raise mine to have leg room.
True.
But to be honest with you, there's not much less leg room in these than there is other models.
No, I mean,
that's like I've got a bad ankle, my right one, which you're for your skinny pedal. And when I get into a Polaris, I have a hard time pushing the pedal all the way because of the little lip that's underneath the pedal.
Yeah.
And on these, I don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So it really depends on you, what you want, whatever. If I had the money to go blow on a machine, I'd go to Australia and buy the new trail, from CF Moto, or I'd buy a Can-Am trail.
Right. Kevin,
I just like the trail.
I've talked to a lot of people that have done it, and they swear up and down it's so worth it. That 1 inch makes such a big difference. I've just never done it. It might be worth it for me to do a video and then tell everybody if it's worth it or not. But at the same time, I don't feel like that video would get enough views to make it worth my time. So I just never did it. And I feel comfortable in it. I love my machine the way that it is.
Or if you just post on the page and ask people their opinions on it that have done it.
Yep.
They'll more than likely tell you.
Everybody I've ever talked to said that they done it and they loved it. And
most of the people are 6 foot and over.
Yep.
I'm
6 foot.
with short legs. I don't need it.
Well, Scooter, the U-Force 800 has way more leg room than 800 and 500 and the old 1000 does. The U-Force, it's more upright, as these are more of like a relaxed. I think they're relaxed. A lot of people say that they're too upright. I don't know.
But... yeah, the U800 does seem like you're sitting a lot more upright, which makes it feel like you have less leg room.
Right.
So if you did a 1 inch on that, for every inch you raise your seat, you're going to feel like you got 2 more inches of leg room.
Right.
So depends on your comfortability.
It's definitely a good idea, Kevin. And I don't want to shy you away from trying it at all. Definitely try it. I mean, all you got to do is just modify some wooden blocks.
Well, and if you're not going to be, are you out trail riding it or are you working it?
See, everyone that's always wanted to raise the seats are the ones that are in and out, in and out, in and out.
Right. That's why I'm wondering if you're working it or if you're out trail riding it. Because if you're working it and you just want, the more comfort, easier to get in and out, then yeah, it's well worth doing it.
Kevin, I'll get to you in just a second. Down there, buddy. Jeffrey says, one more question. Been having trouble shifting from low to reverse, vice versa, ever since I plowed snow last winter. In 600T, I tried adjusting shifter linkage, but it still gets stuck. I'll be honest with you. Mine gets stuck too if I'm in 4-wheel drive, and it really makes me mad and upset. And I've tried adjusting it, and it's the same way. And I don't understand if it's because it's in a bind or what it is. I don't know, but mine does shift hard from reverse to low or high also.
If you have staggered tires, skinny on the front, wide on the rear, I can tell you the exact reason. It's because your rear tires actually measure taller than your front tires, or your front tires actually measure taller than your back tires. So yes, it has everything in a bind.
Mine are the same size all the way around the machine. Same air pressure too.
You need to clutch yours different because mine doesn't have an issue.
Mine did that even with the stock tires, stock clutch, everything.
Nah,
my 800, my 800 don't do it.
Mine only does it if I'm on a hill or like a angle or something stupid.
That's where mine does it.
Yeah. Other than that, it's fine. But if I was plowing snow on flat ground and stuff like that, I wouldn't have that issue. I spent 4 hours yesterday pulling a brush hog with mine, and I never had a problem shifting gears at all.
Jeffrey, I wouldn't remove any safety stuff. Okay, Kevin, have you ridden the 950 HO? Is there a huge difference in power? Listen, I'm going to tell you something. I have not ridden in the 950 HO, so my thoughts here are just professional and
Here, hold on, Red. Let me answer that question. If we're taking 800s, 950s, 1000 overlands, 600s, and you notice a major difference in power just by doing a clutch kit, add some horsepower to that and imagine how it's going to feel.
Yeah. But what I was going to say was I would almost say it's not a big enough difference to pay the extra money unless you're getting the HOEX to get the wider stance also. But if you don't need the wider stance, then I would say just buy the regular old 950 because you're only getting 10 more horsepower. You're not gaining any more torque, but you are gaining that horsepower at a higher RPM, which you aren't going to be at anyway in the trails. So That's my logical thinking on that. But
it depends on what you're using it for. If you're going to be out in the dunes or wide open trails and stuff like that, then by all means, get the HOEX.
Get the HOEX, but I wouldn't waste the money on just a regular HO. I would save some money and get the 950 and do a clutch kit.
Yep.
I'm thinking about doing it just for comfort. We mainly ride at the dunes and up and down the driveway. There you go. You just answered your own question.
Yep. You want the wider one.
You want the HOEX.
Yep. You want the wider one. You want the higher RPMs. You want the more power. I mean, is what sand eats everything up. Buy a good belt.
Yes. I heard if you put foot and brake and give a little throttle, it changes gear selection a little. Yes, it does. That's what I have to do if I'm on an incline and four-wheel drive. I just give it a little gas and I hit the brake and then I can shift. It just puts it in a bind.
Oh, on the
Ronald, do you have a video of towing a brush hog with your C-Force? I think he means Z-Force.
Z-Force? No, I don't have a video of it. But what I was brush hauling it through was taller than the side-by-side.
Yes, sir.
And I've got 14 inches of ground clearance and 30-inch tires.
Yep.
That brush hog's a beast. You know what? I was brush hogging through stuff that broke my freaking turn signal off.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, my left front turn signal was hanging out of it like somebody popped their freaking eye out of their eye socket. Hanging there by the wires. I was like, what the hell?
Yep.
So now I got to buy new freaking turn signals.
Brandon Quick says, I got the whip lights I bought from you installed last night. They work great. You'll love them. I love Oxbeam stuff. I really, truly do. They are not your average China quality item. They're pretty good.
Somebody bought gay whip lights. Woo.
Yeah, he bought my gay whip lights. Same gay whip lights that I have.
Yeah.
Mine don't work, though, because I sunk in that mud hole and screwed something up. I think I ripped a wire because I was stuck. There was mud everywhere.
As many mud holes as I've been in, I'm surprised any of my wiring on my side-by-side works.
Right? Right?
And I've never had a problem.
I think
the TPS sensor not being waterproof.
I honestly think I just popped a fuse or something. Because I installed that fuse box way down low where it could easily get wet. So I haven't looked into it, though.
Yeah, whoever said that fuse block is waterproof is a liar.
Which fuse block?
You buy on Amazon that says it's waterproof. You buy a fuse block to mount somewhere.
The Oxbeam one?
I don't know. It's not the Oxbeam one.
The cheap one?
Yeah, it's not waterproof. It's water resistant.
It's water resistant in light rain. Yeah.
Yeah. If you want a true waterproof one, you're going to spend some money.
Right.
So mount it. If you buy one, mount it as high as you can mount it.
Yep. The Oxbeam one is water resistant, but I did something to it and it was fine until I hit that mud hole and was really stuck down in there.
Could be one of your wires running back, too.
That's what I think. I think the mud got up in there, and with me shaking the quad and all over it, I think I just might have unplugged something or ripped a wire or something. I got to look into it because I do like having those whips.
He likes to have the party lights going.
That's right. I even got the underglow lights on now. I've yet to use it.
You know what? I've got dome lights, bed lights, rock lights, my off-road lights, and not one of them change colors. They're all white. They're all for functionality. If I'm in the middle of the woods in the middle of the night, I can see exactly where I'm going. I don't care if they put every color of the rainbow.
Let me tell you a little something about having the color of the rainbow. This is what I like about having the color of the rainbow, because if you're in pitch,
during Pride Month,
if you're in pitch black darkness, I can flip it to green or red and actually see better than the white.
Well, mine are pretty damn bright. You've seen mine all lit up.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying the red, believe it or not, especially the red, you light that up at night in the woods and it illuminates dang near everything.
I can turn mine on. If I turn all my lights on in my garage, I don't even have to turn my garage lights on, and I could work on a car.
Yep.
And they were a lot cheaper than buying the ones that are multicolored and controlled by your stupid phone. I hate having everything controlled by my phone.
Right. Okay, Kevin. So you're saying you got the Z1000. Your wife is the main user. You have to say it's awesome. You just like a little bit more comfortable on the seating position. Okay. So I got to say this. I've driven multiple 950s, and I feel like they're really no different. Like, there is more room in the cab for your upper body, but you can get that same room by doing the doors like what's on my wife's side-by-side that pop out. As for the leg room, I personally feel like it's no different for this one reason. If you look in the 950 on the left and the right side, there's the footwell that you got to put your foot on. That's where the fender well is, where the tire travels when you turn. Okay. So you got one foot that has leg room, and then you got one leg that's cramped up on both sides. So I feel our regular Z Forces aren't like that. I'm more comfortable in those. That's just my opinion on it. If you want more body room, get the doors, the dirt specialty doors, and put the 1 inch or 2 inch seat riser in, and bada bing, bada boom, save yourself some money. Just saying. And keep in mind, the 950 has the same engine as that Z1000. So you're not gaining anything, really. That's my opinion. But
yeah, the 950 EX HO is the exact same body, just a wider suspension.
Yep.
So you're not going to gain anything as far as room on the interior.
Yeah, the HOEX, the only difference is it's got wider stance and it's got 10 more horsepower than the regular 950.
That's like I read somewhere, somebody said they were thinking about upgrading to a EX instead of a trail because they wanted more room inside. You ain't getting no more room inside. It's the exact same body.
Yep. The 950, the new 950 HOEX and the HO is the only ones. That's the only CF motor that I have not sat in and driven. Oh, and this U4600, I haven't driven that one, but honestly, I have zero interest in it at all.
Dude, the U4600 is actually pretty cool.
It is, but I don't like the unlocked rear diff. Unless you're only working with it.
Working, you don't tear the yard up. That is awesome.
That is awesome. But if you're trail riding, nope. It sure does, Kevin.
Well, it's got a diff lock.
For the front, just like ours.
Yeah, but it should have a diff lock for the rear.
It's got the limited slip clutch disc like the Fords do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, well, if it had a rear diff lock button, it would make it a lot better.
Absolutely.
Most people that buy the U-Forces don't use them for trail riding. They use them for work around the yard, around the farm, stuff like that. And having the limited slip rear diff is a good thing to them. Absolutely. If they need the power and they put it to the floor, both tires are going to pull. But if they're just putting around the yard, they're not going to tear their yard up.
Yep.
If you're wanting a sport machine, buy a sport machine.
Yep. I say Kevin's better off keeping his Z-Force 1000. Don't let it die because CF Moto is letting them die. And I think they're
1000, it already died.
No, it didn't. They still sell them brand new every day in Canada.
Well, that's in Canada. We're not in Canada.
It don't need to die. It needs revamped, updated. It needs a new body style. And I'm not talking spaceship body style either.
The Z-Force 1000 died when they put out the 950.
Chasing Trail ATV. 10 horsepower is a good bit, but you're not gaining any torque. And torque is what helps you get places.
Exactly.
Not the horsepower.
That's why I set my clutch kit to where I'm closer to max torque than I am to max horsepower.
Wait a minute. Did he just say KRX 1000? Okay, Monkey Wrench. There's a KRX Terex for sale locally with low hours for about 15K, Z1000 or KRX. Now, listen. I cannot answer this question. Hold on. I'm going to get an expert out here that can answer that question for you. Give me 1 second. I'm going to call my expert and see if they'll come out here to answer your question for you.
Yeah.
KRX.
I need an expert out here to answer a question for somebody that I cannot answer.
My wife.
Come here.
My wife's ex.
Yes, you are. Come here.
His whole family owns KRX.
Come here.
I can't.
Why?
Red.
I'm not even dressed straight.
It's okay. You don't have to come in front of the camera. Just answer the question. I'll read you the question.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
All right. Love you.
Bye.
My expert is coming so they can answer that question.
Hold on. I'm gonna answer the question real quick.
Okay.
Now, I know, like I said, I know this sounds weird, but my wife's ex-husband and his whole family own KRXs.
It's not.
KRXs are big, bulky, the bushings suck. So the minute you buy them, if you buy it, replace the bushings. They're low on power. You get them in the sand, they're dead. They're not built for anything except for trail riding and rocks.
Okay. My group expert is here. I'm going to read the question, and she's going to answer it to the best of her knowledge. Okay, you ready for this?
Yeah, I'm nervous.
Okay, Monkey Wrench. There is a KRX Terex for sale locally with low hours for about 15K. Z1000 or KRX?
KRX.
There you go.
And I say it depends on what you're using it for.
The KRX is a beast, man. I'm
The
just saying.
KRX, I'm sorry. I'm going to say this. KRX is a piece of shit.
Why? Why is it?
Because the bushings suck. The power sucks. The power to weight ratio is horrible.
Hey, Ron.
They're junk.
Everything that you just named, we have the same problem. Well, why are you still in here?
Can't see her anyway. All I seen was a shadow.
They said they couldn't see you. It's not like she's not dressed. She's dressed.
I don't like the KRX. The KRX is huge. It's bulky.
It's got
Unless you're 7 foot tall and need the room on the inside.
that KRX 1000 would smoke my 800 over here.
I don't care. I'll follow a KRX 1000 in my freaking 800 trail wherever it wants to go.
Yeah, but it don't have the suspension travel or all the goodiness.
I'll still follow it.
Kevin says the boss has spoken. First, the KRX is secondhand previous history. Z1000 new, same price. Yeah, Scooter's got a good point there. KRX is built beefy, can handle 35s, 100% stock. That's true.
But the bushings can't. Even if you ask John Hester, the first thing he tells you when you buy a KRX is change the bushings.
Our bushings are the same way, though.
Not really. I didn't have to change mine until almost 3,000 miles.
I had to change mine in 1,000. Same with my
That's
wife's.
on a pavement.
What's the pavement got to do with it?
Stress on the suspension?
No, my ass.
Yeah. You have a nice one.
He says, Jason Trail says, thanks for this live video, guys. Riding the ATV right now, listening to you guys on the AirPods. You should turn this into a podcast. We should, but I don't know how.
I don't make any money off of this, so you have to talk to Red about that one.
The live stream I don't make money off of either, so. I heard that you can make money off podcasts, though. Same with Can-Am. Squeaky bushings are the worst. I mean, if you ask me, all factory bushings are junk on everything. I think.
Hold on.
Okay.
How the hell do you spell silicone?
Silicone.
It's S.
What?
Silicone. See, I had it screwed up too.
Well, why are you asking me for if you already know? Because I didn't know.
No, I pulled up on my auto spelling on my phone.
He said making me stop. Don't stop. Just keep listening. Listen, Steve, I just need you to make our Z-Force look like yours. I hear you there, buddy. I hear you there. Mine is pretty bad to the bone. Pretty bad to the bone over there. I got my light on the thing, so you guys. I do like mine. It's tits. It is. And if you guys notice, all of you guys picking on my chase lights back there on my toolbox, I fixed them. Made me stop riding to reply.
This sucks. You sound like a robot again.
Who does?
I was there. Now you're back. It's because people kept sending me messages.
That's why.
Well, somebody asked a question when I did my oil seal on my primary shaft. If I used sealing compound. Have you ever used sealing compound on a seal?
On what seal?
The oil seal for the primary shaft?
No, but the CF Moto book says you have.
Tells you to. That's why he asked me.
Yeah,
I smeared some silicone on it, but I didn't use.
Is
whatever.
it for the outside edge that gets tapped into the case, or what?
Yeah. He's one of the stripped off the nut because the right-handed, left-handed thread bull crap.
Yep. Yeah, I've
been helping 2 people get their machines back going because of that issue.
Right. Man,
Gotta be
got 5 likes on this live stream. What the heck, guys? What the heck?
What?
Out of all the viewers we've had, I only got 5 likes on this live stream.
It's because I'm ugly.
Well, me too. I ain't no prettier. Oh, I forgot. I wanted to show you guys my new shirt. Hopefully you can see it.
I can see it.
Huh?
I said I can see it, but you're too small on my phone, so I can't read it. I'll have to look at it later.
Yeah.
What is it? 1 minute 14 or 1 hour 14 minutes? All right.
Is that how long we've been on here for?
Yeah.
Jeez. And still no Larry. He must still be drugged up.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Kevin says he's got 27-inch paddles on our buggy.
On an 800? Shit, I would have went with 30.
Center located in Ohio.
What is
Hope you're
that?
having a good day. The reason I'm calling is because your student loan is filed for a forgiveness plan.
My
As you may
student
know,
loan.
the forbearance period expires soon and payments will begin to resume.
Oh wow!
There are some forgiveness plans that you
My student loan. They're calling me about my student loan, but the funny part is, there's no way in hell I could have a student loan because I dropped out of school in the 9th grade.
Oh, you want to hear something real funny? I would have graduated the end of my junior year, and I dropped out in February of my junior year. But I had a good reason.
He's wanting to know the recommendation from the group. What, on tires? If you're running 27-inch paddles, I wouldn't go any higher on paddles.
I would.
Why? Our engines ain't got enough oomph to sling that much sand.
My 0 to 30 with my Mud Light 2s is almost the same in sand as it is on pavement.
Yeah, that's Mud Light too. That's not paddle.
Paddles are even lighter. You're going to spin them easier.
But you're going to catch all the sand. That's what's going to weigh them down.
You think mine don't work like paddles? They're mud tires.
I got mud tires too. No, I don't think they work like paddles. They
Mine-
work like paddles in the mud, but they don't work like paddles in the sand.
Yeah, they do. That's why you're supposed to line them up too, so your paddles are even.
I don't know about you.
I would go with the 28 to 30 inch paddle if I were going paddles. If I were putting paddles on mine, I would go with 30s on mine.
You would have like no top end.
Why? I can run 50 in the sand now.
But you don't have paddles slinging 20 pounds of dirt out of each paddle every 2 seconds.
Somebody send me a set of 30 inch paddles. I'll go back down to St. Joe State Park and we'll see what I do with 30 inch paddles.
Yeah, I'm curious. We're doing it on live too, by the way.
Bet your ass. I'll do it on live.
Man, this thing rips. Just wondering if anyone was running bigger. The torque is incredible. Yeah, the 1000 puts out down good. I just don't know.
If the torque is incredible with 27s, you would easily be able to turn a 30 in the sand because it's just moving sand and propelling you forward. It'd be a little different than putting a tread pattern on.
He said his 1000 runs 70 mile per hour in dunes. That's pretty good. I would definitely stay with what you got.
You might lose just a tad bit of low end, but I bet your top end and your mid range would increase with a larger tire.
I don't know. He's saying he's running 70 in the dunes. That's pretty good.
That's the speedometer.
What is that, like 68 on GPS?
Nah, probably less than that with 27s.
It comes factory with 27 or 26.
No, that's not bad at all. I'm not down in that. That's good. But you got to figure though, I'm running over 50 with an 800, and my tires are 41 pounds apiece.
I wish I could get a trip sponsored to Michigan. I'm sure you do, Kevin. Sure you do, buddy. I wish I could get a trip sponsored to Michigan. I can't afford to go, but if I could get a trip sponsored.
I want to do the cheese trail. I want to go to Minnesota and do the cheese trail.
Right.
But I want to do it in like early fall when the leaves are changing colors and starting to fall.
Yep.
That would be a badass trip.
Right.
Nothing technical. Just cruising, having a good time, drinking some drinks, enjoying the scenery,
Right. Exactly.
not getting beat to death or yelled at by your wife.
Yeah. You just leave the wives at home.
Oh, my wife's fine as long as I'm not going into the booby trap or something stupid.
Yeah. Every time we try and talk you into doing something, she goes, Ronald, I can't believe you're going to let them talk you into that. Every time.
Hold on. But later on, when we were out, when we took off and was just hitting whatever trail, after she got enough alcohol in her, she'd look at this hill off to the left and be like, "Well, we can make that."
Yeah, because you're driving.
Yeah. One of these days, I'm going to remind her, if we don't make it, you are in the passenger seat.
That's right. That's right.
But I will say, I've made them all.
Yeah, there ain't nothing I haven't made yet. Knock on wood.
There's some that if I would have finished trying, I wouldn't have made.
Right.
But I'm smart enough to stop and put it in reverse.
Right.
You seen the pictures I sent you of Suicide Hill down in southern Missouri?
Yeah.
I attempted that on my Sportsman.
Right.
I got right up to where, the first cliff is, and nope, reverse.
Yep.
I wasn't even trying that. That you're dumb if you try that hill.
Right.
Or you got a 4-seater sitting on 35s. More powered than you know what to do with.
Yep, exactly.
Dude, I've watched rock bouncers roll down that hill. And my dumb ass was going to go up it on a 325 Sportsman.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Back in my days, we would do worse stuff on 3-wheelers. And these people feel like they need a Can-Am with 300 horsepower to do the same stuff we was doing on a 15 horsepower 3-wheeler.
Yeah, if it's dumb enough that I'm not going to go up it, you've either got balls of steel or way more money in your machine than I do.
Exactly.
I mean, I'll take a Honda Trail 50 up some stupid stuff.
He says top 3 modifications for Z-Force. That's easy. Air filter, tires, clutch.
Yep.
Exhaust.
Tune. We can keep going, but
yeah, we can keep going. But the main 3, the must-dos, are the first ones I've said.
I say air filter and air filter inlet.
Yes.
Just air filter. Air filter and air filter inlet area.
Well, when I said air filter, I was kind of including that too, but I didn't say it. Because that's a must. That is a must-do. Yep.
Air filter and where your air inlet tube is.
Yep. At least block it off to where it can't suck air from the underneath the machine.
And really, the factory tires aren't too bad if you want to wear them out if you're not planning on going up a size.
No, they're not. I actually, I'll be honest with you. The factory tires that came on mine, my wife's and my 600, they're really good tires, but they're not tall enough.
So it depends on what you want. Be more specific in your question.
Well, he just said top 3. I mean, that was my top 3 anyway.
Well, it could be air filter, tires, and shocks.
Oh, definitely shocks, but I'd go for the clutch first.
I'm going to raise that to top 5. The top 5 things you should do to any CF moto is going to be the air filter and where it comes in at.
Clutch,
shocks,
tires,
lift, whatever, tune, and the exhaust.
Yep.
What order you do them in really doesn't matter, depending on what you're doing with it.
I don't know. Air filter should be number one.
Yeah, air filter should be number one, with a second bring it home.
Yep.
But after the air filter, it depends on what you're doing with it.
Yep. So people were saying that they didn't like my idea on the oil pump in the bottle. They said it was dumb and unnecessary. I'm assuming that they haven't changed diff fluid on our machines.
I use a 100 milliliter syringe with a long rubber tube on it.
That works. That works.
And it was dirt cheap.
Kevin, is your clutch stock, buddy? Because we can make it better. Just throwing that out there. We can make it like a monster. Just throwing that out there.
On Kevin's?
Yep.
On Kevin's, the stock tuning really isn't bad on the 1000, but you need to get your R's more up in the power range.
Yep.
So if you switch to like a 1016 spring and leave everything else the way it is, really not bad. The V1000 had a good clutch tuning on it. I say on a Z1000, stock spring or stock weights with a 1016 spring and leave the secondary alone for the sand, shit, you're great.
This right here is the spring he needs.
The 1016 spring?
Hold on, let me double check.
Like anybody's going to be able to read it to know whether or not it's the right spring.
1016 spring.
Larry will do that. He rides mostly sand. And that's all he did was, what did he do? He took the restrictor out and put a 1016 spring in it. Isn't that all he did?
Yeah. Added pennies to the weights for 20 grand, but I wouldn't do that.
Well, no, he just did that when he was.
Yeah.
He did that Moab trip. Other than that, he was stock weights.
Yep. So, Kevin, go on my YouTube and look after the live stream's over. Look at some of the clutch work that I've done on the 1000s. And it really wakes them up. You think you make your buddies mad now. You get a clutch, a Redneck Garage edition clutch, and you're really going to make them mad. And I'm not real familiar with sand, but I don't know if I'd recommend a Helix or not. I guess that'd be something you'd have. Yeah, I don't think it's sand.
If you buy a Helix, you're going to want a 50-40, something that's going to get your wheel speed up faster, but then build power. And they don't make anything like that for ours, to be honest.
Not yet. What I would do is clog it to B2 and throw in my primary kit.
I don't even know if I'd clog it to B2. I'd probably.
That's true.
B1.
That's true because he's only running 27-inch paddles. He'd
Right.
probably be fine stock.
He just wants to get the RPM up to where it's in the RPM range. So you can do that with just a spring.
Yeah, because he should have 18-gram weights, right?
16, I think.
Oh, if he's got 16s, you don't want to run 16s with this spring. It would be way too light, and he'd hit rev limiter in the sand.
Whatever the stock weights are, I know is fine with the 1016 spring.
I doubt it would be in the sand with his tire slipping. You probably hit right limiter, easy, fast.
Didn't you just say that the paddles are digging and bogging the motor down?
They do, but they're not gripping like they would with hard pack in the trails and the pavement.
I'm just giving you shit.
You know exactly what I meant. He
Mine
don't have the
RPM whether I'm in the trails, on pavement, on gravel, or in sand. When I put it to the floor, it's in between 63 and 6,400 RPMs.
You don't need any special tools to do the primary kit, my friend. Well,
nope.
You need
only
socket.
in the inner.
Yep. Check out my clutch videos. I got a real good detailed one on a C-Force 500, which same clutch you got. Check that video out. It'll show you everything. Not a problem, man. Not a problem. That's why we do these lives. Still no Larry. He must still be coming off of his buzz from his gummies.
Oops, I need to learn how to spell.
Yes, sir, Kevin. The C-Force 500. Now, keep in mind, with that video, I also added a secondary spring. I do not ever recommend that secondary spring. That guy brought that kit to me. That was something that he purchased. I do not ever recommend that spring. So, with all said, just ignore that we're even using that spring in the secondary spring, the big spring in that video.
If you want the secondary spring, is the Arctic, but I still don't recommend it. It puts too much tension on the belt, creates too much belt heat.
I have a hard time going away from the stock secondary spring, which is this right here. This is a stock CF Moto secondary spring. It's brand new. Got dust on it from the shop, but I have a hard time leaving these because they're good enough. And I have yet to actually,
if you run tires that are big enough or in terrain that's tough enough and you're getting some belt slip, go to the 1061 Arctic secondary spring. But that's only if you're getting belt slip. If you're not getting any belt slip, you're perfectly fine with the stock spring.
Yep.
Just clock it to your liking or needing.
Yep.
I put it in mine, and yeah, it made it fun. But did I necessarily need it? No. So I went back to the stock spring.
Yep. Who is Dr. Dale Dobeck? He comments on my stuff once in a while. He sounds familiar.
Dr. Dobeck.
Yeah, it says Dr. Dale Dobeck.
Is he part of Dobeck?
I don't know. That's kind of why I was asking. I can't hear you, Ron. You're cutting out. What? Ron, you there? What'd you say?
Back?
Yeah.
I said, it made me curious.
Yeah.
When I dealt with Dobeck are great people.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked to him a little bit.
The only problem that I had with anything Dobeck that I've ever had was their shit's not designed for CVTs.
No.
So all the fuel programmers, all that stuff, not designed for a steady RPM range. They're just RPM range that goes up, not one that stays at a certain RPM.
You're welcome, Kevin. Thank you, sir. If you're leaving, have a great night. We're going to have to get off here, too, because my battery's at 20% on my laptop here. '19 Z-Force 1000 running 28 carnivores. What's the best clutch setup for hills and trails, Kentucky, like a Wildcat? I have a clutch setup for you. All you got to do is message me and I'll point you in the right direction. Message me on Facebook, Redneck Garage, or R.N.G. Sounds good, buddy. I see. Ron must have got booted again. Larry was supposed to join us, and he did not. I have a Z950 about the MSC Stage 2 kit. When I put 30s on it, it goes to rev limiter instantly, then levels out. Not sure if it's actually right for me. Yeah, so my clutch kit will not do that. It comes close on the Z950, but it actually does not do that. The Stage 2 spring, we were just talking about that. That is the spring that I do not recommend, but that's my personal thoughts, and not going to bash it or anything. I just personally do not recommend it. What's up, Side by Side Adventures? What's good, buddy? Good night, Kevin. Take care, buddy. I think Ron left. He probably lost service and left. We're going to have to get off here anyway. My laptop battery's dying here in a minute, so same old. Same here, buddy. Everybody wanted me to do a live, so we went live. I didn't know it was actually going to do so well. It did very well tonight. I want to thank everybody for stopping in. I know everybody's so curious about those lights. Right there. They ain't going to fall this time. I'll put them up a different way. I got it looking nice out here in the shop, don't I, guys? I cleaned it up pretty good. Whoops. Are those light bars? Where? Light bars where? On my toolbox? You guys are going to laugh at me. Those lights on my toolbox right there, they are the lights that people put under their tailgate on their trucks. And I just wired them into a 12-volt outlet, and then it come with different wires that select which patterns they do. And I just selected the one that does random, and I just let it up there do its thing. It kind of livens up the garage a little bit, especially when I ain't got the lights on out here. It provides enough light for me to see when I'm coming in here without turning the lights on at night. Have you seen the PRP seats for Z4? I have actually. Now I know a lot of people that run the PRP seats in other machines, and they love how comfortable they are. And if they're the seats that I'm thinking of, they just don't like the lip that's by your hips. They say it makes it hard to get in and out, but other than that, they're comfortable. David, just wanted to thank you for everything you do for us. You're welcome, buddy. You're welcome. That's what I am here for. That's what I do. It's what my channel is all about. It's helping people, helping anyone I can. And I don't care. A lot of people throw me slack about what I do and want me to do things certain ways. And listen, this is my channel. I'm going to do what I do. And I'm going to continue to do what I do because you guys love it. And you guys, you are the ones that keep me going. So I want to thank you guys for everything you do for me as well. Looks tits. Thank you, sir. What's your thoughts on that 2023 Z-Force 800? I want one. I want one. I want one. Is that a good enough answer? I want one, man. I want one. My wife wants one. I kind of wish that they changed the body style and such. I kind of wish that they would have did something with the horsepower because I feel like the 800 has so much more horsepower to gain. I feel like the 800 should be about 70, 75 horsepower, maybe touching 80. And I feel like the 950 1000 should be closer to 100. That's what I feel like, but hey, whatever. You heard me. You heard me. I want one. I do. Oh, I like it. I think it's sick. I think it's sweet. I really do. I only got to see a little bit of a video of it. And I think it's cool. And everybody's like, you don't like the 950, but you like that? It looks the same. No, to me, it don't look the same. That thing looks to me like it's finished. It's like completely finished. I don't know. It's hard to explain. Yeah, it's got some similarities to the 950 in the front end, but it's not the same. It's nowhere near the same. It is completely different, and I'm sure in person it's going to look even better. No, it looks different. I like it. Yeah, absolutely. Side-by-side adventures. It looks completely different. It is. I don't care what anybody says. So many people gave me backlash on that video that I did. They're like, you don't like the 950, you know? Why would you like that? It looks the same. No, it doesn't look the same. No way it looks the same. It just don't. Look like a Can-Am and 950 mated. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, kind of. Yeah, definitely does a little bit. It definitely has some Can-Am. What is it? The Outlander? No. Am I wrong? Wait a minute. It's a Can-Am Maverick Sport. Kind of like the doors and the back half. Yeah, definitely. 2015 Z-Force 800, no problems at all. I love my CF Motos, man. I really do. I wish CF Moto would actually work with me and make something happen, but they probably won't ever. They did. They did. They took the two and made something pretty sweet. I like it. I like it. Like I said, I wish it had more horsepower, but hey, whatever. I don't know. I like my 800. It's just fine. I'm not ever going to get rid of it. Well, guys, I hate to say it, but the laptop battery is now at like 10%. So we're going to jump off here. We're going to go in the house. Well, I got to load up the 500 because we're going camping tomorrow, riding on Saturday. And we're taking somebody that's never been on an ATV, never been on a UTV or in a UTV, never been in the trails, never been nothing. Here comes Ron. We'll stay on for a little bit, but if it dies on me, you guys know what happened. So we're taking somebody out of the trails Saturday that's never been nowhere near an off-road, nothing. And I'm going to video her reaction. My wife said I could take her for the first time around on the side-by-side and the ATV. And she gave me permission to record her action. And we're going to see if Redneck Garage scares her or not. So Saturday's video, which you guys will probably see Sunday, is probably going to be pretty darn sweet. And if you guys notice, my editing, I've been working on that, baby.
Well, just looking at you scares me, so.
Shut up, Ron. My laptop's gonna die here pretty quick. It's all 10%.
Yeah, my phone was about ready to die.
Yep. Wonder if they're gonna make an EX. Well, I hope so, because I wouldn't go buy the trail. That's just because of the way that we ride. But Ron will buy the trail. Ron will buy the trail. He'll test the trail out for you guys. Hopefully they made it a softer suspension on that trail.
I'll have that trail literally leaning on its side to where you're almost touching the ground before it tips.
Almost.
And then Red will follow.
Almost, Ron. I see you have it on its lid in Kentucky.
And it was not on its lid. It was still on the tire.
Was touching ground. Its lid was touching the ground.
Yeah, okay. So, whatever. It didn't tip.
No, it didn't. Well, it kind of did tip. We're in this valley. We're in this valley, guys. And you got to kind of ride the side, each tire on each side. No, Ron didn't do that. No, Ron rode the side, and his roof was touching this side and driving it through. He's like, what's the matter, Red? I said, I ain't doing that crap. Let's go.
So, no, the bad part is he calls me on the radio while I'm right in the middle of it. So, like an idiot, I don't finish going through. I stop, answer him on the radio. So I'm sitting here like this, talking to Red on the radio, telling me I'm not going through there. Dude, I'm stopped talking to you on the radio. Follow.
I would have followed him if I was in that beast over there.
Quit being a little girl.
What?
You can't say you didn't follow because you were in a trail, because I was in a trail.
Yeah, well, I wasn't trying to have my wife's trail, the lid scraping all the freaking rocks that yours was scraping.
Oh, dude, my roof is all scraped up.
Yeah.
The side of the roof is all scraped up. I've bowed my windshield into a U and it's popped back out. And
yeah.
It's been through some hell. It likes it. It says, give me more.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got to take my drugs here real quick. If anybody wonders why I always have to find stuff to do to keep me busy, it's because I have a stupid disorder that I have to live on freaking Xanax.
Right. Well, guys,
when I was little,
huh?
When I was little, I used to take B12 vitamins. And my mom made me stop taking them because she could not stand to put up with me.
Well, I'm going to jump off here because this laptop's going to make me jump off here, and I can't plug the charger in because of all my accessories. I got an Apple that only has 2 USB-C ports. I love my Apple, but they should have gave me like 2 more.
Apple sucks. Get Android.
No.
Or Windows.
No.
Apple sucks. Get Android or Windows.
I'm not going back. You know what they say when you go to the dark side? Once you go to the dark side, you don't go back.
Just go black, never go back?
Huh?
Is that what you're trying to say?
I wasn't going to say that because it's not right to say.
It's not like any girl's going to disagree with you.
Wow, Ron. Wow. All right, guys, I'm going to jump off here, go put my laptop on charge, and get to these messages that I've missed.
Oh, I totally misread that comment that's still posted up there. Even though you read it once, I wasn't paying attention that the comment was up.
Yeah.
On a little phone, it doesn't look like it says AEX. It looks like it says, wonder if they're going to make sex.
Yeah. Yeah. I could see that totally. Later,
I
Jason.
thought that was hilarious.
Right. All right, I'm going in the house. I'm going to charge my laptop.
Yeah, I'm going to go home before my wife kills me.
All right, we'll talk to you later.
All right.
All right. Bye, guys. Thanks for stopping in. Peace out and God bless. Remember to leave a like button on the way out and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you ain't subscribed. We'll see you in Sunday's video, guys.